All right, so hello and welcome to everyone who is here. Um, I am Bante Warapanyo, soon to be 30-year-old American Buddhist monk. And you can see over here, this is, we can say, our monk life Sangha, monk life community coming together on Discord. So some people are joining here on Discord, and some people are watching live on YouTube. And surely we will also have some people who watch later. They watch the live recording. The nice thing about these events is that we can come together in the present moment and practice together. So this is a real kind of community building. And even for the people who can't be here live, right? People who might be watching this event as a recording, they are joining in our stream of practice. So you would have to be some kind of a very unique person to join a session like this or find a video like this randomly on YouTube and then just watch it as if you were watching, the Housewives of New York City or something like that. It would be very difficult. So we can have a kind of understanding that we're coming together to join into the flow of practice, to be on the path together. And for those who are new to meditation or new to this situation, this is basically a path of goodness. So we do good deeds. When we do what we should do, when we do good things, then the mind can kind of calm down and become stable, right? I'm sure many of us have had the experience in our lives of, staying up all night and doing the things that we shouldn't do, right? Maybe it's drinking or watching certain kind of content. Can be many different things, but in the morning, we feel tired, we feel weak, we don't feel good. Certainly, the mind does not feel stable. So, we have this very strong aspect of Buddhist philosophy that is, if you want to feel good, you have to do good. And if you do bad, or basically do nothing, you're going to feel bad, or you're basically not going to feel anything. So this is a place where we come together to do good deeds and primarily to practice meditation together, right? To be mindful, to be aware of the present moment. And we have an understanding that that's one of the goodest deeds or the most skillful activities that we can do is to be aware of what's happening right now, right? To touch the present moment, to breathe and be aware and be alive here in the present. So this is a really wonderful opportunity where we can do good deeds together and be here together in the present moment. So that's what we're going to be working with and practicing with today. I will ask for everyone to be a little bit forgiving with me during this event because I'm rusty. I haven't been managing these live sessions and this live streaming for about 3 months. So it's a little bit intense, a little bit nerve wracking to manage all of it, but it's also inspiring, right? Wow, we can see community members here. Maybe some people who I know, some people who I don't know so much. They become bigger and smaller, but they're here. So I think what we're going to start by doing today is we're going to listen to 3 sounds of the bell, and then we are going to sing some songs together, just a couple songs to lighten the mood and kind of have bring some joy, right, and bring some levity and lightness to this situation of birth and death, right, living on the very edge of our lives. It's an intimate moment, vulnerable moment. And then we'll have a kind of introduction to meditation practice, and we will we'll practice meditation together. Okay, does it sound good for everyone? All right. So we're going to start with listening to 3 sounds of the bell. Okay. That was 2, so we'll make it 3. And as we hear the sound of the bell, this sound is, we listen to it and we come back to our breathing. We come back to the present moment. As we hear those 3 sounds of the bell, we can really come home to the present moment. And we can find our solidity not in our mind or our body or our experience being in a certain way, but we can actually find our solidity in being willing to be with the situation as it is right now, and to be okay with that, and kind of take whatever is happening right now as a avenue for touching the present moment and attending to our life and our heart. So we don't all, I think probably nobody here else besides me has a songbook, which is quite convenient. But I'm going to work on getting kind of a digital copy of this songbook for these happiness songs that we can sing together. And maybe a couple people here will know some of these songs. I know Cassiana would probably know a song or two. We'll just sing these 2 songs, starting with Happiness is Here and Now. So the lyrics are quite simple. It's happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. I think that's how it goes. I really need the book right now. Anyway, let's start singing. You can take a deep breath in. You can just listen to me the first time, and then you can try to follow along the second time. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't need to hurry. Okay? Everybody try to sing along this time. Do your best. Deep breath in. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't need to hurry. Okay, that's quite nice. All right, so this song has some hand motions. So even if you don't know the lyrics to sing along, you can join in on the hand motions. You can follow along, right? We can call this a kind of happiness yoga, right? We're getting into the Tantric Buddhism field now. So this song is called Breathing In, Breathing Out. All right, so you can try to follow along with the hand motions if you're able. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free, I am free, I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. We can give happiness sparkles. Yeah, that's not part of the song, but shows our happiness. So the temple that I've been living at here in California, they transmitting these methods to me. So I'm so happy to share with the community. And there's a lot more fun to have with these kinds of practices. But the basic premise is just like we're shaking off the rust. We're shaking off the seriousness, the tension. We take ourselves so seriously all the time. And meditation isn't really a time to take ourselves so seriously, but more to be kind of sincere and flexible, and especially open hearted. Okay. All right. I think it's going well so far. maybe we sing one more song. I guess this is a bit of a concert now, but you know, you're getting the feel of it, and then I'll make sure to get these songbooks out for everyone so that we can do it together moving forward. Okay, so this is one of my favorite songs, and this song is called "I Am a Cloud." Cassiana, you know all these songs so far? You singing along with me?
I know the first two, but I am a cloud. I don't think I know it.
Okay, so we'll learn it together. I am a cloud. Everyone thought they were coming for the meditation class, but looks like they're coming for the joyful singing class, so that's even better. Okay, so this song is I Am a Cloud, and I will sing it and share it with everyone. I am a cloud, I am the blue sky, I am a bird spreading out its wings. I am a flower, I am the sunshine, I am the earth receiving a seed. And I am free when my heart is open. Yes, I am free when my mind is clear. Oh, dear brothers, oh, dear sisters, oh, dear siblings, let's practice together mindfully. Okay, that'll be the singing portion of our practice together. All right, so we're now going to step into kind of, we can say, some guided meditation, some meditation instruction. So we start any meditation practice by first getting relaxed, right? And kind of loosening up. And so we need to be somewhat relaxed for both the body and the mind. And when we adjust our body, when we stretch a little bit, when we sing some songs, for example, we can kind of loosen up and get into a general comfortable state, relaxed, general, comfortable state. And when we find that that position of being generally relaxed and generally open to what's happening right now, we can let the body find a place of stillness and stability. So we don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to use the body for anything, but setting the body down to be comfortable and to be still. And when we practice meditation, it's okay if our eyes are open or if they're closed. Neither is really a big deal. It's just what it should be, what feels comfortable for you and suitable for you at this moment. Shouldn't try to force anything. So as we find that position for our body to kind of sit down and be comfortable, be in a simple, stable position, we can put our hands on our knees or in our lap and start to take maybe 2 or 3 really deep breaths in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. So breathing in deeply through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in deeply through the nose, Breathing out through the mouth. So as we kind of start to connect with our breathing and find this pleasantness in our breathing, this quality of kind of relaxing ourselves through that breathing, just let the breath find a natural rhythm. Find a way of breathing that's really suitable and comfortable for you right now. And this way of breathing is just like your way of being intimate with the present moment, your tool, your method of being in the here and now. So breathe as deeply as you need to. Breathe in a way that you enjoy. And whenever you find that your mind is starting to get excited or complicated or stuck on something, breathe in a way that brings your mind home to the body and really start to notice the present moment physical sensations in the body. You may notice that there is a sense of tightness. There may be a sense of pleasantness. Or a sense of feeling of kind of not anything, a neutral feeling, or even a pleasurable feeling. But through your focusing on the breath and breathing in such a way that really engages you, just offer your awareness and your presence to the noticing itself. And practice to notice without any quality of judgment. Oftentimes the controlling mind comes up, like controlling or not controlling or doing it right or whatever. Don't really pay any attention to that. Come back to the breathing and noticing and the being with what's happening right now, especially in the body. It's quite easy to fall into this idea in meditation of seeking a particular kind of experience, a particular kind of situation. Don't worry about anything like that. Right now, practicing to breathe and be with what's happening right now. And as you're able to inspire this quality of enjoyment in breathing and enjoyment in having a body and enjoyment in being in a safe space with a very wholesome, clear intention. So we can bring a smile to our face as we are breathing. And we kind of give ourselves permission to enjoy the breathing, enjoy the tension, enjoy whatever is there right now. Doesn't matter what it is. We just face it and touch it as an avenue for the present moment. Breathing and enjoying the body and relaxing. As we hear the sound of the bell, please feel deeply invited to practice, to enjoy the present moment, to enjoy breathing and being aware, not alone, but as a part of a community, as a part of a Sangha, a global Sangha. And let's all join in this stream of practice together as we hear the sound of the bell. All of that static, extra thought, distraction, it's just fuel for the fire of your mindfulness. You bring it back to your breathing and being here in the present moment. That static is a part of our practice, those thoughts, those distractions, memories, whatever it might be, things come up, bring it to the breath, to our heart, to our just sitting here, breathing and aware in the present moment. We're becoming more aware of a sense of relaxation, but not falling into any kind of sleepiness. Noticing and collecting our attention to the breath and this quality, this way of nothing to gain, nowhere to go, but coming home to our breathing and being aware. And breathe as deeply as you need to bring yourself back, bring the mind home to the body, and to just breathe and enjoy. This is a practice where it's not like we're in the dark. It's not like we aren't aware of thoughts or feelings or ideas, but we notice them and we kind of make this conscious choice to come back to the present moment. And our access points for that real lived direct experience of the present moment are quite simple. The feeling of the breath as it enters your nose, the feeling of the breath in your stomach, the feeling of the air. And try to practice in a way that you actually appreciate whatever you're experiencing right now. So, that feeling of cold or that feeling of tension, look at it and enjoy it somehow to appreciate exactly what you're feeling in the present moment right now. somehow we can become more and more curious about this present moment experience. We know about getting things, we know about trying to get something we want, and to get rid of something we don't want. So, this is the time where breathing and noticing is enough. And it's a practice. We're letting go of that habit energy. Oh, I'm not getting something. I am getting something. No, it doesn't matter. Take a deep breath and come back home to the body and this present moment, just breathing and being aware of what's happening right now. It's okay to move the body. It's okay to be gentle. Okay to lay down. It's okay to stand up. Everything's okay. But are we kind of willing, or do we actually have this interest in the present moment? What's kind of going on here? Not just through our thinking mind, not just through our reactivity, but breathing and attending to this heart, this moment, this breath, this body, looking so closely with a lot of curiosity and a lot of sincerity. Just breathing and being aware. Okay, let's listen to 3 sounds of the bell. Take a moment and make sure that you are in a comfortable position. You can massage or stretch any area that is any kind of pain or something like that. This this way of meditation is something that we can tune into at any moment. So it's something we can practice when we are walking, something we can practice when we feel happiness. We can look at our happiness. We can nourish our happiness. We can take a deep breath and step into this curious situation, this unknown. And we don't need to only rely on our thinking or our intellectual views about ourselves or the world or other people or our goals or our worries, but we can rely on our breathing. And this is actually the path of simplifying and stabilizing our mind and our life. You know, someone comes along and says, "What are you doing in there? You know, who do you think you are sitting there like that?" "Well, I'm just breathing. What's going on here? Who are you?" So the more that we connect with that practice, the more authentically we can be in that way and have a relationship with ourselves and with our environment in that way. Because we learn that we actually have a relationship with our mindful breathing, we have a relationship with our mindful seeing, right? There's not a code or calculator behind the eyes, typing in formulas. There's seeing is happening right now. So it's a very strange situation, and we can work with what we see, we can work with what we hear, but the hearing itself is what is most brilliant. The seeing itself is what is most brilliant, most interesting. The awareness itself rather than the content, because the content is can be pretty rough, right? I mean, sometimes we're in a penthouse somewhere enjoying our coffee and our tea or something like that, but then that penthouse falls down. So if you're just relying on the content or the conditions, then it's going to be very difficult a lot of the time. But if we can learn how to rely on our present moment awareness, our present moment breathing and experiencing, then we can make use of any conditions to nourish our happiness, our transformation, our healing, whatever we need at that time. Make use of the simple things that are available to us, right? The seeing, the hearing, the smelling, the feeling, right? You feel cold. Well, what a joy that is to feel cold, right? What a joy that is to feel hot, to sweat. Okay, so at this time, we can open up the space. If anyone likes to ask a question or share something, whatever it might be, question about meditation or sharing about your meditation experience, anything along those lines, we can open up some space for that together.
What is the significance of the bell?
Yeah, so what is the significance of the bell? And it goes to, thank you for your question, Anastasia. It goes to the truth about the meditation practice, right? What is the significance of our breathing? What is the significance of our walking? What is the significance of our seeing? Is that it's an access point to this awareness, being in the present moment, not being carried away by our thoughts, not being carried away by our desires, not being carried away by our aversions. So when we hear the sound of the bell, we invite it. We invite that opportunity to be in the present moment, to touch the present moment. The more that we are engaged and working with the present moment, which is not like a calculated, contrived dream or story, it's just not what it's not. It couldn't be. It's inclusive of all that, but it's not that. The more that we can touch that present moment, the more that we can transform and be skillful and cultivate. We can sow the seeds that we truly need to sow in our garden. So the bell is an invitation to be in the present moment, and it's also that refresh and that restart point, that beginning again point. So many people, they really have a tough time with meditation because there's some goal, or they think there's some special method or some special experience or something complicated, because that's what we're used to. We're used to complicated things. But it's actually, how do you, I want to meditate. What's the real deal? How do you do it? Well, you hear a sound of the bell. Nobody could hear that because, well, maybe you can hear it now, but got all kinds of audio settings here that go in and out. But and then you breathe. You want to be a real meditator. You want to know about real spirituality, what have you. You go for a walk and you breathe. So we can make use of a wonderful bell, right? The sound of a wonderful bell, but actually the incense is the sound of the bell. The seeing, the present moment seeing is the sound of the bell. The present moment hearing is the sound of the bell. The present moment physical sensation is the sound of the bell. The refresh, restart point. Right? We step into this moment of reality and this moment of love. So that's what the bell is about. You can ask a question in the YouTube too. You leave a text comment, I'll see it. Francois said, observing your world in the present is like the sound of the bell. Sounds right to me. Observing your world in the present.
This is Kasiana. I just want to share. I want to share a gata that I recite to myself when I hear a bell, even when you hear church bells, like if you're out and about. It's from Thich Nhat Hanh. It says, "Listen, listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home." And I like this gata, and whenever I hear the bell, I think of that. And then I just wanted to, I don't have a question at the moment, but I wanted to share my gratitude to be here with all of you and with you, Bante. Just this is what's coming up for me right now, just gratitude. I feel really joyous and happy, and also happy about the songs because I love the songs. And I remember the first time I ever went to the Zen Center, which is a sangha in the Thich Nhat Hanh tradition. And it was my first time ever hearing a Buddhist song. And I messaged my best friend from back home and I said, look what the Buddhists are singing about. They're singing that we're all on a journey to nowhere. They're singing nowhere to go, nothing to do, no longer in a hurry. It was just very different than anything I've ever heard, or like different from the Christian songs I heard before. It wasn't like, yeah. So I wanted to share my joy and gratitude.
Anyone else like to share something or ask a question? Okay, great question from Ignatia on YouTube. Ignatia says, what can I do if during meditation I felt a uncomfortable feeling? So we're here to feel those uncomfortable feelings. To take a deep breath and no, it's like we've got a job to do. We've got to transform our suffering into happiness and joy. We have to make use of the mud of our life to be like a compost so that we can plant seeds for renewal and for transformation, for healing, for peace, for joy, for siblinghood. So sometimes you have your job that you have to do and it's cold. So you can stay in bed as long as you want, but the job is still there to be done. So meditation is that practice of, you know, think about if you got a decent job and you live in a cold place and you like to be warm in your bed, right? It's very sweet to stay in there. But you have to go to your job so that you can make money or what have you. If you get up, all those mornings and then go to your job where you're going to have some success in that work, and hopefully it's meaningful work. So it's not just you're making money, but you're kind of having that success because you got out of bed and you stepped into the cold and you went to work. When we practice meditation, we're doing that again and again and again and again and again and again in a very short amount of time. So you get a lot of benefits from a very short amount of time in meditation because you're making that choice to step out into the cold, which in this case oftentimes is facing those uncomfortable feelings, being there with them, attending to them. Sometimes it's also facing pleasant feelings, but not getting stuck in them. So when if we feel uncomfortable and then we're ruminating on that, or if we feel uncomfortable pain in our leg, and now our meditation is a struggle, focusing on pain, like we're struggling with pain, you need to move your leg. You need to adjust your position because you're not meditating anymore. You're ruminating. The same with pleasure, right? You have a pleasurable thought or experience come up, and then you start ruminating on that. You need to adjust your practice in some way. Of course, it's easier for both of them, it's difficult, whether it's pain or pleasure, to work with it in a non-attached way. But that's the practice. So we come back to our meditation object, our breath, our present moment awareness, our just sitting here and breathing and not relying on our, calculatedness, but just breathing or singing or walking, whatever it might be. And we restart and refresh, begin again. We get to work, or we get to joy. We get to enjoy all those things instead of fighting with them or being confused by them. Okay, and BJW is asking me how my retreat was, because I just come back from the 3-month range retreat period, meditation retreat period, and it was very nourishing and enriching for me. And I'm right now able to be with a lot of my monastic siblings and play with them and spend time with them and learn from them. Now I've kind of received this transmission about the singing, and for sure it's not going to go anywhere. I won't always be able to sing in the different contexts that I find myself in, but here in our community, this is really a treat. There's so many sweet songs that we have here, and we'll get to sing them together, and that's something I enjoy so much here at the temple, is that before we do walking meditation or before we do working meditation, we sing songs for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And that's a really powerful practice. So I'm getting a lot of those kinds of transmissions and support from being with my monastic siblings and, following the schedule we have here. It's also a lot of nature, so been able to go on some wonderful walks around here and be nourished by the natural environment. So I encourage everyone as well, if you can, of course, if you can make the time to come and visit here, you're very welcome. We can go for a walk and have some tea. But in your area, if you can find the time to go for a walk and just be with your breathing and your walking and your seeing. It's intense. It's a difficult practice. I think I tell people I say that so much because I'm trying to get myself to do it, more often. Because you get used to something and then you kind of burdened by that you're used to it, that you're familiar with it. But the nature is always new and always fresh. It's just getting out there and experiencing it. Okay. Yeah?
Oh, yes, I have a question. How do you deal with music running through your head, like with the Plum Village songs?
Let it run, Morgan. You let it
Okay.
run, and you're going to need a lot more of it. Okay? Because this is the kind of stuff that we want to have in our heads. We want to be, not our traumas or our worries or our, fixations, our stresses, but happiness is here and now, right? Especially for walking meditation, it's nice to have. So this is the kind of stuff you don't need to worry about having that in your head. You can sing along with it. That's a fine meditation. Even better if you can be aware of it and stay with your breath, and then it will pass away. But this is the stuff you want to have in there, you know. Yeah, we need to find a way to show up in our practice, and that's why this community is so successful and loved by a lot of people, including me. That's why I love the space that I'm staying right now, because it's an avenue for us to show up to our practice. The philosophy, the psychology, the Buddhist teachings and all that, it's great, but it's no substitute for showing up. It's the barrier of entry that we have to step into. We have to get past. And so on an app like Discord or online, people can click and join and then, do gosh knows what. And sure that that's I have to be very aware during meditation to make sure that that doesn't happen more than necessary. But when we do show up and we do practice together like this, there's a lot of opportunity because we're breaking through a lot of barriers to be here and to show up continuously in this present moment, and that's our meditation practice. We do that for ourselves and we do that for each other in this community, and that's the stream of practice, right? And then it's not just us, but it's a global community. It's Buddhist temples and sanghas and groups in your area as well, or meditation groups. I like Buddhism a lot, if you can't tell, but it doesn't need to be so religious. Actually, it's not about Buddhism. It's just about getting access to those resources, sangha, community, conditions to support your, going to work. You're showing up. You're facing the cold. It's okay to be cold, and it's a joy to be cold together. Talk about coming close, coming together. If it's really cold, that's exactly what you got to do. Come together and support one another. So, that's the joy, is that everyone here, who I kind of know about a little bit, some people more than others, but we're primed to support one another, right? We're primed to be in Sangha. And it's a little bit different because, it's the online, it's the psychosphere of the online world or whatever, but it's we are primed for that. And everyone who's a part of this community recognize that that's what this space is really good at, is that we're primed to support one another with compassion and mindfulness and whatever it might be that comes up. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for today, and we'll finish with 3 sounds of the bell. Okay, can listen together. And thank you all for being here. This is such a joy. Okay, so we can all offer a bow to each other. Can bring our hands together and just offer a bow. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful, and free from suffering. And we will have it's a little bit of a different situation. The temple I'm staying at now, so I'm not going to be, have a V12 engine of live group meditations, constantly. But we'll definitely be meeting together, quite a few times every week, and I'll keep everyone informed through the Discord. And don't hesitate to reach out. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye. That's all, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to your mindfulness. Bye-bye.